Hi Aquarius, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for July. So July is a pretty exciting month. A lot of things kind of come to the surface in July, obviously. Between the eclipses, Mars is now firmly moving very quickly through the sign of Aries because he's not, he's going to move through this next couple of weeks really fast before he stations to go retrograde, which he'll do in September. So Mars is going about as fast as he possibly can right now in his home sign. So absolutely, July as well as August will bring us a level of productivity and success. Things will start happening now. But we're still in eclipse season and we still have a lot of planets retrograde, which brings me back to July being a little bit more of this inward subconscious level work, especially for Aquarius because it's a 6th house, 12th house transit with the eclipses. But Mars in Aries in your 3rd house suggests a real need to express yourself. Now, there are healthy ways to express yourself, and this transit can be really beautiful. If you are a soft-spoken, gentler kind of Aquarius energy, then you may have to really start to speak up for yourself. And this could be a really catapulting energy for you, where you start to really put up healthy boundaries, you start to really speak your truth. You start to state your needs to those around you. The danger is because Mars is so exalted in Aries, and the Pluto-Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in your 12th house could bring about a lot of fears. And when we are in a state of fear, when we are not feeling grounded, if we're not exercising our own power, so this is like if we're really super emotional and our happiness starts to weigh heavily on others, because you can't. Right now in this energy, you kind of have to be your own individual rock right now. Others are spinning out of control, trying to heal these wounds as well. The energy is just as much on everybody right now. So we have to exercise compassion. And Mars in Aries in your 3rd house could make you a little bit biting if you are not careful. If you allow things to fester, if you allow anger to build without simply saying the things you need to say, then it could become explosive. It could become really unhealthy. Now, I don't see that playing out in your cards, but I do like to warn everybody collectively when they have these kind of transits. You're seeing people melt down in grocery stores about wearing masks. You're seeing people get really angry. We're all kind of tired of all of this fear and the miscommunication. Mercury is still in retrograde. So, it's just a little chaotic and people could be a little restless. Mars in Aries is a great time to go out and get the yard work done. It's a great time to start the new workout routine, to kind of exude our energy in a physical manner that can bring a lot of healing right now. I'm going to jump into your astrology cards first. 4th house, roots. The themes of July, like I said, are going to be a lot to do with those 6th house, 12th house placement of the eclipses. There's a lot of karma going on. There's a lot of karmic relationships. 4th house is matters of our home and our foundations. So clearly, if you're dealing with real estate issues, trying to decide if now is the right time to buy or sell a property, Maybe you're in a relationship and you're, looking to take it to the next level and move in with somebody. Getting a new roommate, getting a new pet, having a new baby, bringing a new baby home. Changes in the home become at the forefront. Now, if none of those scenarios apply, it could also talk about people coming back from your past. Now, of course, we're in retrogrades everywhere. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. Uranus is going to be going retrograde as well. So there's a lot coming back from the past. Even maybe just in forms of memories or dreams. Maybe you're traveling this month, going back home to see family. And it could be old memories and old wounds from your childhood as well, because Chiron pops in. Now we have a really big aspect this month. Mercury is going to be doing a lot of work with Mars, which is why I bring up levels of communication and anger, fighting words. There could be a lot of drama around there. And, third house does rule siblings. So you may be fighting with your siblings, sisters and brothers. It could be bringing back old wounds from, maybe fights you had with siblings in your childhood. There's all kinds of stuff here. You could be running into people that you went to school with when you were younger. Certainly old boyfriends and girlfriends, just looking at the way that old relationships have affected you and how you go about creating new ones in your life. First line of your cards speaks volumes for the amount of chaos that may begin in the month of July. 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the King of Wands. 7 of Swords I see as an overall energy in a relationship. Now you may be dealing with a fire sign, Leo. Leo also represents your 7th house, Aquarius, so for sure a partner. When I see King of Wands, it's typically somebody of a sexual partnership, a sexual relationship, husband, and pay no attention to gender. It could be a female who's just in their masculine energy, trying to produce, trying to create. But it's an energy of going after what you want. And I feel like that's somebody who has a tremendous amount of desire and want for you, Aquarius. But I think there's issues below the surface with this King of Wands. Next to him is the overall energy for the reading, which is the Moon and the Page of Pentacles. There are things going on with this King of Wands that you may not be aware of, especially when the 7 of Swords comes out. Now, I don't necessarily see this as third party, lying, deceit kind of situation. I see this more as self-sabotage. Maybe this person has a lot of fear about coming forward and expressing their feelings for you, and specifically making an offer. So maybe this is somebody who wants to step up a level of commitment in your relationship, but there's like fear of rejection. And that might be something that they're really dealing with. Now, the 5 of Swords is where things kind of get interesting. 5 of Swords is where the ego comes out to play. And this could be where there's a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. It doesn't even have to be outward, right? It could be this King of Swords going through a lot of mental strife, kind of trying to overcome these fears. It could be a lot of outside talk, a lot of other people's opinions which are swaying them. Now, as well, things might come to the surface that are a bit more of an issue for the King of Wands. Seven of Swords energy could be an energy where you feel like you're being taken for granted. You feel as though maybe this person is just in it for, the sex. There's no real emotional commitment here. And without the emotion, it's hard for somebody to make an offer. And so there's a lot of ego work being done between the two of you right now. Directly under the Seven of Swords is a Six of Wands. So whatever it is being worked out right now, there's a promise that there's going to be a form of victory, a form of success. But when I see it play out like this, and I'm not going to pull cards to clarify, this would be way too long of a reading, but sometimes there could be issues of jealousy at play here. When I see a King of Wands in that moon energy dealing with their fears and a lot of swords around them, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-sabotage, it could also be attention that you're receiving from others. See, Aquarius, you are coming out center of your reading as the Queen of Pentacles. So there may be a lot going on with your King of Wands, but I don't see you letting it get to you this month. I see you staying very grounded. Fourth house, roots. I really like this energy. I really like this energy because it really is a feeling of self-worth, of really recognizing what you bring to the table. This is kind of like an awakening moment, especially when it comes out like this. This, Aquarius, is you seeing yourself maybe for the first time as what you have to offer others, and like I said, with this Mars in Aries, third house kind of stuff, this is where our thoughts become really powerful and you become really powerful. Because the second that you start to see yourself in your worth, in your value, you begin to put up with less and less BS. And the King of Wands, this, I feel, it feels like a temporary thing. It feels like a bump in the road. Somebody acting a little bit out of character. And I think maybe it's just the universe inviting you, Aquarius, to say, hey, this isn't okay. Hey, I deserve better than this. And the second you start to see yourself in that light, the King of Wands sees you in that light as well. King of Wands, with the Judgment card underneath, it is this King of Wands that is getting a really big awakening in the month of July. Here's where it could get rather interesting. Five of Swords coming above that Queen of Pentacles. It may not just be the King of Wands who's seeing you for all of your value this month, Aquarius. You may be getting attention from others. Maybe somebody's coming back from the past. Or just somebody new slipping in the picture and giving you attention. And it may be what you need to kind of see what your worth is and what your value is. But it could also really light a fire under the King of Wands' ass. that whatever fear he has from making an offer or a commitment, well, now it becomes now or never. Now he starts to realize that you're not going to wait around forever and that you may have other offers. He may be feeling threatened. He may be feeling jealous. And that's not where you want to build a new beginning with somebody. But I think it might invite in a more emotional element to this, because I see a lot of swords and I see a lot of pentacles here, meaning there's a lot of stability, and the swords can represent, they're not the best swords in the beginning of the month, but the end of the month we start to step into more positive forms of the sword energy, our mental energy. We're beginning to realize how our thoughts create a reality. How we think of ourselves dictates how others see us as well. This is like a huge growing up moment for Aquarius, where you become less afraid of what others think or how you affect others, and you just do exactly what you deserve. You go after the things that you want. There's so much emotional healing over elements of fear here. 7 of Swords, 6 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. This, by the end of the month, is a brand new big picture outlook on life. The Queen of Wands energy, the stability, this being the rock for others, not wanting to make waves, is exactly what's being dropped. 10 of Wands, this is dropping the burdens and what's holding you back. Maybe there's been a little bit too much practicality, a little too much of not wanting to have the fights. I don't want to say anything. Now is not really a good time. Kind of waiting for your moment sort of energy. And the Queen of Swords doesn't wait for anybody, right? She's on the move. She sees the big picture. This is the best energy for my Aquarius. It's making plans for your future. It's cutting out the BS that gets in your way. And I feel like this is where your vibration raises exponentially. A couple different ways, and it'll probably be different for everybody depending what kind of a karmic relationship this plays out to be. Maybe this is exactly what needs to happen to wake up your King of Wands, and you come together and you create new plans for the future. You communicate about the things that have to go, how you could be a better couple, how you could be better for each other and build a stronger foundation. Or you are no longer willing to put up with less than what you deserve, and you begin to just invest in yourself, and you walk away from relationships that aren't willing to give to you. You, Aquarius, cannot be held back right now at all by other people's hesitations. That can't be your excuse for not making movements in July, by not making the changes you need to make. Maybe if you're waiting to see if you're going to move in with somebody, now's the time to just make the choice for yourself. And I think what will happen is the universe will as you clear this energy out of your way, like I said, it felt like roadblocks that you're clearing out. The universe begins to really get a return on your manifestation so quickly. And that's exactly what this last line entails. You cut out anything heavy because you need to move quickly. There's, anything that you set your mind to at this time can happen so fast. So it's important to stay in a positive mindset in creating the things that you want to create in your life. If you are in a mindset where you feel like people are going to let you down, people are going to deceive you, that you can't trust people, if you're in relationships and you can't deny the fact that you feel like you have no trust and no foundation, those things are just holding you back from making the connections that are meant for you. 6th house, 12th house. These are karmic times, karmic relationships coming in and out of your life, ending old karmic lessons and inviting new ones in, taking ones to the next level. So there's growth here regardless of whether it works out or not. Now, what I can tell you is I don't see any sadness here for Aquarius. 4th house in Chiron, Aries bumping up with Chiron in the middle of the month. Yes, there could be a blow to the ego. There could be humbling conversations or moments. But ultimately, we're healing things. We're leaving the heaviness behind. So however this plays out for you, I don't see a long drawn out emotional recovery period. It just sort of is what it is, and then you begin to move forward really rapidly. This is where you begin to pick up momentum that's going to bring you into the second half of the year, and that energy just gets bigger and bigger and better. Ace of Swords is ultimately finding the truth and not being afraid. So everything comes to the surface. There are no secrets moving into August. There's no secrets. There's no unknown things within relationships. Everybody, the cards are on the table. Everybody knows the truth. Everybody has communicated. You know how they feel. You know what the expectations are, and you begin to move forward. So that's like the greatest thing that could happen, right? You're really putting yourself in a position to take action in July. Your bottom of the deck, 4 of Pentacles. Aquarius, you're really being invited to look at what you're holding on to and why in the month of July. Whether it's old mental patterns of I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable of. Saturn moves back into your 12th house, and we revisit all of those struggles that we've been dealing with for the past 2 years. The good news is we've learned enough to recognize it quickly and overcome it. When Saturn talks to you, it could tell you all those things like you're not good enough, you're not capable of making this happen. It could make you really think small. And you have to overcome that, and you have to recognize, no, Saturn, I am good enough. You talk yourself out of that negative energy. And you get invited to see how quickly circumstances change the second that you do that. The second that you start to express to people, no, I need it to be this way. I don't want you to talk to me this way anymore. I don't want this to happen anymore. And it really becomes a matter of just letting it be said, letting it be heard, and then you don't even have to revisit the issue. It simply stops, or the truth. Either way, there's growth, there's clearing of the path, there's the path of least resistance starting to show itself to you. Animal spirit cards, from the earthworm to the firefly. This is all about this Queen of Pentacles. She could be a little bit shy. She doesn't want to hurt other people's feelings. And then you step into the Queen of Swords, where you step into your power and you say, well, my feelings matter too. The earthworm is somebody who is afraid. It's everything Saturn that I just referred to. If I tell this person that I don't really like it when they do this, they probably aren't going to want to talk to me anymore. Well, so what? so what? Then that makes space for the new people that can create that with you. This is when you start to speak up. And I think this may be your King of Wands. I think when you start to speak up and use your voice, it creates this enlightening moment for those around you. And these people say, I want to get on board here. I understand, this is the awakening. This is the awakening, the resurrection. I see it now, the light bulb moments that go off, not just for you, but for others around you as well. Change is in the air, and it's up to you to make sure you're moving in a positive direction on all fronts. Even if this is a job, the things that are not meant to stay in your life are simply going to fall aside, and you have to be really grounded in what you want and how you want your future to unfold, and have faith in the universe that once you're clear on what you want, it's just going to deliver it rapidly. Your oracle card for the month of July. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. It's just paying less and less attention to the things that don't bring you happiness. Venus is in your 5th house, moving direct. It is the only thing going direct, for the most part, is Mars and Venus, your desires and your ambition. Now, more than ever, it's important to follow your heart, to do the things that make you happy, to do the things that you really, truly love and enjoy. So there's no wasting time and energy on things that stress you out, on things that aren't fair, on relationships that aren't reciprocative. There's so much here that you're learning, and I really get the feeling like Aquarius is the one who gets to tell Saturn, hey, no, I'm ready. I got those lessons. Let me show you how good I got those lessons. Because that's what you're being invited to do. Aquarius, I really feel like you got this. And I really feel like the people and the pieces in your life are starting to fall together. And all you have to do is let it happen. All you have to do is have faith that the universe will provide, and be strong in your convictions of how you want your future to unfold. All right, Aquarius, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful July. I really appreciate you being here. If you get a chance, hit like, subscribe, share this with people. The channel's growing really nicely. It's got a nice momentum to it right now, and I want to get these messages out to as many people as I can. All right, have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in August. Bye.